Welcome back to Hidden Power. This is a Pokemon podcast, and today we are doing a live call-in show asking our Hidden Power community what their Pokemon predictions are for the Pokemon Presents slated for July 22nd. That's coming up. That date, that presentation is coming up soon. And there's a lot of things we could see in this presentation. The Pokemon Company themselves have been hyping this up. We are desperately anticipating new information about Pokemon Legends ZA, Pokemon Champions, and much, much more. My name is DustyGogoat. Today I'm joined by TraderLumi.
Hello.
And SoulSilverArt.
What's up?
And it's going to be quite a grab bag. I'm excited to hear what the community has to say, what their theories are. We're going to try to get to everyone today. And I would say, without further ado, if we can do this as smooth as possible, we're ready to take our first caller. There will be spoilers for Pokemon Legends ZA in this video. That's going to be the man, the myth, the legend. How you doing, man? Dwarfinator, what's up?
Doing good. Water pressure being the first one here, huh?
No, this is good.
How y'all doing?
Yeah, good job.
But, so, got some quick, obviously we have to present some periods because they announced it 2 months before it's actually happening. So there's some little bit of like, oh, why so early? But, first thing, obviously, you got your go news. I think they're adding paradoxes. Might be some news about that. Obviously, Cafe. You have Pocket, which I think they might announce the next Pocket set, which I think comes out on the 26th. And they might go over the new trading requirements. They're changing the whole trading system in that game soon.
Oh yeah, true.
And then we might get some Champions news. I'm not too. There's some stuff in the air, so they might cover that. It might get released by the end of the year, like sometime after Worlds. Where it's like, oh, here's some like more news about Champions, but you'll see more after Worlds in August.
Mm-hmm. Are you expecting to see anything specific in Champions?
Realistically, I feel like not too much. I think that's more competitive. So I feel like, hey, well, this is what it looks like. Here's a little bit of UI, some new Pokemon that y'all didn't see in the announcement video.
Yeah.
I feel like they will leave most of that to be for Worlds. That's more of a competitive, I guess, a competitive game, basically. So if I feel like, get more people on my eyes on Worlds, like, hey, if you wait to the end, I think very end, we'll show you, 5 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah, I think what I would be expecting from Champions is if they do give us any information, I could totally see them just kind of queuing up some further anticipation for like a trailer during like at the end of Worlds. I think that just feels right, and I'd be fine with that. Any new information about Champions would be great. I think that I think the fandom would appreciate more information about Champions because all of the discourse around this game is based on nothing. Yeah. So like it's all just speculation, we're just all projecting ideas. But do you think you're going to be playing Champions that much? I know you said it's competitive, so maybe you're not super interested in it, but like, do you think you're going to play it?
Granted, I don't know a lot. We don't really know a lot, so I can't really judge. But I am excited because as a content creator, I do a lot of like events regarding Pokemon Battle. I've just finished a big draft league, so like maybe if it makes the games easier, so like because a lot of the comments and concerns I get is like, oh, I don't have enough time to make a team in game. I got a full-time job. I got to go to school. So be able to people pick up their phone or pick up their Switch and make a team, within 30 minutes and play it and have the 3D models. Showdown. I don't know how much they like Showdown, but Showdown is kind of like the magic of like seeing your Pokemon move and seeing the animation is taken away. So to have that Showdown ease of use, but have all the animations, I think it's a good all-in-one bundle.
Yeah, and you're not wrong, but I do think right there is like exactly what's happening. I think we're all just projecting what we want or expecting to be like what this game is going to be. I think you hit the nail on the head. Like, I remember in college playing Showdown so much because I could play it. It was a really convenient way for me to play Pokemon with my friends, my new friends in college who didn't have a 3DS, right? Who didn't have a DS. They didn't have a save file with a competitive team. We could all just, even in class, right? Don't tell my professors, don't tell my parents, but in class, we would literally be playing Showdown together, and that was so much fun. So I think we could see a very similar thing with Champions, in this game being available on mobile devices. But yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I wonder if we were asking this question a little bit when Champions was announced, but I think we've been so excited for what Champions could be that we've not gone back to this.
Yeah.
But so something that I think people often forget is Pokemon Showdown is not Pokemon. It's, it's made by fans, right?
Yeah.
Pokemon would be well within their legal rights to go in and shut Showdown down. And I wonder if Champions could lead them to do that. Frankly, even if it's not like a satisfying replacement for Showdown.
Yeah.
Yes. 100%.
I kind of
this could be the end.
a little bit about the whole Showdown. I think too many people like Wolfie and everybody use Showdown as a tool and a calculator. So I feel like they'll never acknowledge Showdown. It's like kind of like in the shadow, like this not there, it doesn't exist. So it's still there to use, but hey, use our brand new shiny Pokemon champions. We don't know about this other thing you're talking about.
Yeah, I hope that's their approach to it. Because like you just said, Showdown is such an asset to those people who do the official tournaments. It'd be a shame. It'd be a shame.
Yeah.
Do you have any more predictions?
Yes. I don't know how they'll do it, but in my brain, since I've been watching and seeing stuff on, Twitter and y'all posting and everything, I have a slight idea that maybe they might tease a new Mega at the end of Champions, and that's their lead-in into ZA. It's like, they're kind of like, I don't know how much y'all want to say, but I know there's like the rumor of it being maybe Dragonite might be the new shown. Like they'll show kind of like Dragonite for a split second, and it'll just like transition into ZA, and that's like boom, new Mega. Here's a new character. Here's this, and just hit you with a bunch of stuff. And they do that after when they sit there talking about, here's the new Mega. You blah blah blah. Oh, here's a new character. Oh, what did this character do? I don't expect the ZA trailers to be very long. There's not a lot of, there's not a lot new to the game that we know of. Granted, we don't really know. A lot of it's hearsay, rumors, and leaks, supposedly.
I want to jump in there. I really think there's a lot we don't know about this game. I think what we do know is like descriptions of things, but even
surface level.
It's all surface level, and whoever's leaking the information, their opinion on it is completely subjective. And I'm also
and for the record, their opinion on it is that it's the best Pokemon game they've ever made. So.
Sure. Okay. Well, that sounds good. And also, I'm gonna edit in a spoiler warning at the beginning of this.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I forgot to mention. There will be leaks mentioned for Legends ZA in this video, and probably Generation 10 as well.
I posted it on Discord that we'll have so people who are in here right now know it. But for you, the listener of the VOD,
I'll edit that in.
People and all of that. So, but
yeah.
But from my point of view, with the Legends games, I know we got a lot with Legends Arceus, but Legends Arceus is like the new game. It's like they have to put more out. And Legends Arceus did well. I feel like they're going to dial it back because there's a lot of the stuff, they don't want to leak out, like the stories. We're going to, Pokemon that are linked to the story, kind of keep that close to them. And maybe I might get a Mega here or there from now to then, but I feel like we'll at least get one new Mega, whether it's, one that we already know of or maybe a completely new one. If it's a completely new Mega that's not in the leaks, then everything's just thrown off the table at that point, in my opinion.
That's what we're all hoping for, right? That's what I want.
For sure.
My wishful thinking, it pops up, you see Dragonite, and then boom, there's Carnivine, and you need Mega Evolve. So, who do I believe now?
I think
see it with especially Champions being in play. I remember that with Home, when they connected it to the Isle of Armor, they did a special distribution in Pokemon Home where you could get the Melmetal with the G-Max factor, and you can't use Max Soup on Melmetal to give it that G-Max factor. The only way to get G-Max Melmetal is from that Home event, and so I wonder if maybe for Champions, I think a really good tie-in would be to say like oh hey, when you get Pokemon Champions, there's Mega. I don't know. I'm naming a random Pokemon now, but Butterfree. You can get Mega Butterfree. It's not in Legends ZA, but in Champions, you get access to Mega Butterfree.
Yeah. I think something that we need to be paying attention to, it should be on everyone's radar. I think like it seems like there's not a lot of quantity of content, right, in Legends ZA, but I don't think it's about the quantity of that content. I think what's going to make Legends ZA so special is not the quantity of content, but the quality of the actual gameplay that we are able to experience through the, whatever, individual and unique pathway that we play throughout Lumio City, right? Like the team that we choose. It's an RPG. It's a Pokemon RPG like anything else. It's the Pokemon we choose, the megas we decide to utilize, whatever pathway we want to go throughout the city, whatever, side quest, etc. that we unlock. I think this game is going to feel so special for all the same reasons why we love Legends Arceus. And I just don't think, I just feel like people aren't focused on that because there has been leaks for ZA. Like we know a bunch of Mega Evolutions that are going to be in this game, new Mega Evolutions. And I think the quote unquote like plot of the game seems pretty short, in linear, and I think that's turning a lot of people off. But I don't know if that's really the value of this game. The promise of this game is the new battle system and those like core RPG features.
I feel like the plot thing is just literally because they haven't shown us anything. Like there's not much on the plot in the leaks, and we're not going to really go into any of that, but there's not a whole lot that's leaked from the plot, and that's good. I just think we haven't seen a lot from the plot, so people are just starting to be like, there's nothing in this game or whatever. But it's like you said, we don't know anything about it, so there could be so much more plot than what we're thinking. Yeah. I think there'll be a lot, actually. So
Pokemon never really shows a ton of plot either, like ahead of the game. They kind of they're always pretty surface level with what they tell you.
I think the thing is that a lot of the end game of the plot kind of leaked, and that's really disappointing. But that makes people feel like there's nothing in the in between. Do you know what I mean? Like there's nothing to get to the end. It's just like, oh, ZA Royale, and then we're at the end. But no, there's the whole game. Like there's
the whole game is literally why you're buying the game.
Yeah, just because the end doesn't mean there's nothing in the plot.
The point of a Pokemon game is to capture Pokemon, train them, make memories, experience the game, right? Like people always say like, oh, I hate grinding, and I'm like, that is what a Pokemon game is. It's part of it. It's using your Pokemon to level up and earning that power that you're granted when you like evolve and defeat the champ. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but I think what Soul's saying too is that there will still be like plot in between.
Sure,
that
there could be.
Don't know about.
Yeah, that's true.
Plus, it's a Legends game. Yeah, I was about to say Legends Arceus. They had the side quests, so spend your time grinding by doing those side quests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Dwarfinator, if you have anything else, you can let us know. But I think we're gonna move on.
One more thing.
We're indulging.
I know you got it, everybody. I know I'm just sitting here listening. But one more thing is, I've been asked this question. People are like, do you think there's going to be any difference between the Switch 1 and Switch 2 version outside of performance and graphics? And I don't know. There might be a mega that you can get only in the Switch 2 version. So if they can say that, because now that, Switch 2 is out since the last presents. I know we had the trailers there and like Switch 2 stuff, but this is the first presents after the Switch 2's launch. So maybe like, hey, if you get the Switch 2 and you get the Switch 2 version, you get this like, mega, kind of like the Blaziken, like a pre-order thing, but you only get it for the Switch 2. If you get the Switch 1, you get this one.
I think that's totally possible. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's all I have. We're still in that, like, nobody really knows phase, but that's all I got. So,
no. That's a cool idea. We have talked about that in the past. I don't know if you guys have any other speculation on that, like what the difference between the Switch and the Switch 2 versions of Legends ZA could be. I guess the fun idea would be, maybe I don't know, like additional character that you can meet. Maybe it's like it's just like, honestly, maybe the Switch 2 version of Legends ZA unlocks essentially like a micro DLC where it's like a new quest line or something that introduces a character that introduces a mega or something.
I'd even say, I think it's pretty easy to, if you look at Legends Arceus, most of the side quests that like were connected to like, oh, you have BDSP save data, you have Sword and Shield save data, gave you a mythical. I could see like the Switch 2 editions, like you get these 3 side quests that give you access to Volcanion, Hoopa, and Diancie.
Dude,
I feel like
I'd
there's
be
something
pumped.
different, like that one mega that people keep going back and forth on. I have a feeling it might be that one. Like you can get the.
Could be.
I feel like you'll be able to get
Honestly.
the couch mythicals, and because like with the ZA, you can take the ZA card, put it in the Switch one, and still play it.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's gonna be something very minor, like like, even if you transfer your save data back to the Switch one, it's not gonna like break the game. So something very minor. It's like, oh yeah,
That's a really good point.
Here's the mythical that first time being able to catch. So when you transfer your save data over, it doesn't really like mess with the game too much.
That's a really good point because they do need to be interchangeable in that way. So you can't like unlock a new like region. Not that that's what they would give us, but you know what I'm saying? Like you can't unlock something that you can go to, save your game in, put the game cart into a Switch 1, and then all of a sudden like the game crashes. You know, like they can't do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know the Zelda game is the same, where like when you blew it over, it detects it, and it's like, none of the features, like the whole map thing is like gone, but then when you move it back. So I feel like it was something minor. And like with knowing Pokemon, it will be minor because like we all know they're gunning for the big game next year. So something that's going to be like, oh, here's a new Pokemon that you haven't been able to catch before, or here's an extra item that you can't get on the Switch 1, but it doesn't break if you switch over your save file.
Now that makes sense. Thank you, Dwarfinator. I
Yeah.
appreciate you supporting us. Appreciate you giving us a call and starting this whole thing off.
Well, I had
Thanks
a
so much,
pleasure,
man.
but I think I did well. Y'all
No,
take
you
care,
did.
boys.
You did. No, you did great. You did great, man. It's
Great.
always a pleasure
Great
to talk
start.
to you, man.
Yeah.
Carnivine for life.
Yes, Dusty, Carnivine for life.
Listen, I got a video coming up on my main channel, and I reviewed an evolution for Carnivine, and
Okay,
it's pretty sick. It's pretty sick.
If you get added by me in the Discord, you know you did something bad. So
yeah.
I got a clip. I got a clip about you off of one of my streams. I got to like make and send to you. It's kind of funny.
Please send it to
But,
me. Send it to me. That
But,
sounds
y'all
awesome.
take care, boys.
Thank you.
I'll be working.
You too.
We'll talk to you
You
soon.
too.
Alrighty.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, and I'll say for like just for like time's sake, if you like, I think we should just try to lead our questions with like something that we're personally looking forward to, or our personal theory, or something, something like that. I don't think we need to spend time recapping like all of the mobile games or whatever if you're not actually like, if you don't actually have like a point to make about them, because obviously we're gonna get all that stuff. But just for time, just so we can get to everyone, we don't need to recap. Like Pokemon Sleep or whatever, unless you have a theory
You
about
can
it.
say mobile games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, don't even
You can
say.
probably
I
say
mean, like,
the mobile games.
if you have nothing to say about it, you don't need to say mobile games, or you don't need to go through all the little things that are going to happen, unless you have something to say about them. I'll just say that. But who do we got here?
JD.
JD,
What's up, guys?
how you doing?
Hey,
What's up?
how are you
Good.
doing?
How are you? I'm so
Chilling.
You
I
were
got a
making
hot
you were making pancakes last time, right?
yeah. I'm actually eating hash browns right now.
Of course, dude. I love that. That's
Hey.
awesome. Dude, my
I always watch. I always watch the pod when I'm like eating.
I love that.
Nice.
No,
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah, it makes
on Hidden Power we really love to foster food culture. So I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. My new thing is I go to Heavenly's Donut. It's like a franchise out here on the East Coast in New England, and and I just get like a bacon, egg, and cheese with a hash brown on an English muffin.
Oh, yeah,
it's the best
dang.
thing in the world. It's so good.
Yeah.
Hungry.
But so I got a hot take. I'll be pretty quick. I got stuff written down. So
Awesome.
Nice.
Basically, I'll just come out hot and say that I think Generation 10 is going to be announced in the presents, and it's going to be released in February on Pokemon
Wow.
Day.
Okay,
So-
let's unpack this because
Wow.
I have been seeing this
We
quite.
can't
I've
move
been
on from that, yeah.
yeah, I've been seeing this around. And give me your points. Give me your points. Give me your whatever.
Okay, so basically, the main thing is that it's they've never announced something before this far in advance, not even close. Like, I'm pretty sure at most it's only been like a few days like before an actual presents when they announced it, and to me that means that this is going to be the biggest Pokemon presents ever.
Well,
Bro. Wild.
I mean, because of the announcement, because I think that this is going to be preparing for Pokemon Day, they're gonna make the biggest Pokemon Day ever, which might be bigger because they're gonna release it. So also, the Switch 2 has to be released. So and they need games on the Switch too. But basically, they also didn't people also keep saying, well, they're cramming the releases in too quickly. But we just had a few years ago, we had BDSP, we had Legends Arceus, and then Scarlet and Violet, all right together. And that was because of COVID, I think. They had people couldn't work. There were shortages on parts. And I was reading something that there's a shortage on semiconductors or something like that right now for the Switch 2, and there could be delayed until 2026. But basically,
I hear you.
Yeah.
Anything else? Just any other bullet, any other points, and then I have some ideas.
For Gen 10, yeah.
For Gen 10, yeah.
Yeah. No, you can go ahead.
Yeah. So the thing, I don't know. For me, I just find it hard to believe that they would rock the boat. They've got a pretty consistent release schedule. Literally, Scarlet and Violet has become, what was it, the second best-selling Pokemon game of all time? That's not something to scoff at, right? In Sword and Shield, we're literally, I think it's number 3, right? So, I guess what I think about is what is the benefit of changing that now, right? Pokemon is super conservative. What is the benefit for them to all of a sudden announce a game now in lead up to Legends
Nintendo
EA
as well?
Yeah, in lead up to we know Legends EA is going to come out, and then if they announce it now, in my mind that would distract from Legends EA, and then also a release on. I'm not saying it's impossible, because you are right about the weirdo release of BDSP and Legends Arceus. I do think that was kind of a specific case, and I also think those games kind of went hand in hand. And I think because they went hand in hand, they're both Sinnoh games, and they're both kind of counterparts to each other. Right. I don't know. I don't see there being a connection between ZA and Generation 10 being crammed in that space. I could much more believe. Let me just finish the thought. I could much more believe Legends EA being released alongside an X and Y port. That's something I've been yelling about for the last year, because it would be just a nice to have, and there's rumors of this other hidden game, so to me that kind of makes sense, and maybe that's what we see. But I guess the what was I going to say? Oh, the other thing is that I'm now old enough to remember watching YouTubers get excited and say the same thing that I'm hearing now 10 years ago for the 20th year anniversary, where people were like, they should release the game on the 20th year anniversary. They should release Sun and Moon or whatever the new game is in February, because then we can play the game year round. And that didn't happen. And I remember, or maybe it was it could have been the 25th anniversary, I forget. But I feel like I've heard that argument, and while
kind of did it for the 25th.
What was the
20th? Legends Arceus, they released that.
Oh, was it
in January?
So maybe it was the 20th anniversary, or maybe it was. I think
you're right. I think it was the 20th anniversary, because you had that gap year in 2015, and so a lot of people were like, "There's a gap year because they're about to drop it on February."
And I do
remember discussion.
I believe that. I guess what my point is I just don't see a benefit. That my question is, what would be the benefit of releasing it early? I don't know, and I guess maybe the benefit is just more games on Switch too, because. I guess
I think the main benefit is that if they will have more time. If you think about it, if the game comes out on Pokemon Day, it's massive. Yeah. All the Pokemon fans are gonna buy it, and then throughout the year they need something to promote the Switch too, and they're gonna get more sales. Then they get the holiday sales also, so they get the big sales on
maybe
Pokemon
DLC
Day.
is at the end of the year or something.
Yeah, positive reception. And then if they get 1 million sales on Christmas time, and that could be because they're getting double the sales rather than just getting it on Christmas time.
Sure.
They can get it then too, because it's not it'll be a big thing. It's not gonna big promotion. Yeah. And Also, I think that the switch to, I think that basically this is happening. It's getting crammed again because they didn't want it to be crammed. Even Koo said they don't care about ZA that much. I mean, I don't know how much we believe Koo, but I think it's like
I do agree with that.
Yeah,
I agree with them not wanting it to be crammed. Like, I don't think that they wanted it to be like this because this game was supposed to come out in November of 2024. Legends EA. So it's like, I don't think that this was the original plan. So that does make a lot of sense. I also want to say that I don't think that it has to be related to Gen 10. Like, Legends Arceus and Gen 9 were not related. Like that had no. They don't have to be like connected in any way. And
no, but
Legends Arceus was
BDSP
like,
and Legends
people say it
Arceus
was
were related.
Right, but there's no BDSP. Champions is BDSP here, in my opinion, because I think that Champions will directly connect to Legends ZA with the Megas and all that. So I think that's the
three
whole
main
thing.
titles within. I guess I just get lost because I'm like, okay, well, that's 3 main titles in what, 3 months, 4 months? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but it was kind of like that. Listen, I'm not saying that I think that it'll come on that Gen 10 will come out on Pokemon Day, because I mean, there's always a chance, but it's very extreme. I would say it would work if what you said, Dusty, happens, where they like release the DLC like in the winter of 2026 or something, like the first part of DLC, you know. Yeah, go for it, Lumi.
My biggest thing against Gen 10 being announced here, like not even really it coming out in February, but just it being announced here, is that if you know, this trailer, we're expecting ZA information as a given, and I think we're also expecting Champions information. And they immediately just, you know, execution style kill both those games if they reveal Gen 10. You know, like
all of our discussions would be about Generation 10. None of our we're planning discussions and streams after the Pokemon Presents.
Mm-hmm.
None of them would be about ZA. It would be completely overshadowed.
Likewise, I think a great example of that is there's excitement for Champions. We saw it with, you know, when we were producing our content on covering the Presents that happened. When we would cover Champions, it didn't do as well as when we covered ZA, because ZA kind of was shooting Champions there.
Yeah.
So in this case, if you do Champions, you do ZA, and then you have Gen 10, I'm telling you right now, our content on ZA and our content on Champions is not doing anything compared to our Gen 10 content.
I think something else
shows the fan interest.
No, that's really good. I think something else that, and I don't totally know this, but I think something else that maybe no one's talking about is that, like, how good are the sales really in February? Like 2 months after Christmas, after the holidays, when people spend the most amount of money. I know as a content creator, sponsors, brands are not interested at all with working with anyone, right? Because they're holding their money and they're not, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not promoting anything. They're not, no one's
Pokemon
buying things like that in February.
Pokemon fans will buy anything.
That's true. Listen, I'll buy it, but the regular people
the
might.
majority
My niece
of
isn't
sales
getting it.
are usually like what a franchise like this, any franchise that's big, you know, Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, Pokemon, what they're going to try to do with each game is try to bring in new people. And so they have to be factoring that into anything, especially on a big game like Gen 10. And I used to work in fast food, and our slowest time was always January and February. And the reason why is because you have New Year's resolutions, you have the kind of fatigue from holiday spending. And so there's so much less spending during those 2 months. I think that, like, and you know, you hear the reasoning, you're like, is it really that much less? But I'm telling you, it was that much less. I worked the fast food, and, you know, I would get my hours cut because they needed half the employees for those 2 months and all this. Because it just, you know, nobody's buying that. Nobody's buying fast food, let alone, you know, $80 Switch games.
Yeah, so basically I have one more point. Okay. And I don't know if you guys, you guys did talk about that Anemo game coming out.
Yeah.
And so when Power World came out, obviously Nintendo sued them. And so it obviously affected them. And to me, Anemo looks a million times better than Power World. The creatures, I like the designs better than most Pokemon nowadays, except Ceruledge.
Really? Except Ceruledge is the best.
Except Ceruledge has this profile picture.
This is why I like you. Yeah.
Armor is better.
Hash browns and Ceruledge.
Yeah, but I just think that it's gonna affect them, and they're gonna wanna release it. But going back on Lumi's point, they're I think that it definitely is low, like low. It's gonna be low, but I think they need to recover their brand recognition, their perception. They have a bad, terrible Scarlet and Violet just tainted their perception, and Legends EA doesn't look much better. The art style is pretty much the same. So I think they're gonna want to put it out earlier, get positive reception. The big fans will buy it. They know they're not going to get a lot of big, like, new fans necessarily that time, but they will during the holidays that year because they're going to be promoting it all year since it's their big anniversary year.
Yeah.
I just think that it makes sense. The main reason overall is because they honestly announced this so far in advance.
That's so true.
That is sus.
That is true.
That is sus.
So I'll give you this. What I think. Okay, I don't think they're gonna. Not shadow drop, but I don't think they're gonna drop Gen 10.
Shadow drop it.
I don't think they're gonna release Generation 10, a brand new game, in February. I don't think they're gonna do that. What I will give you is that I do think something that they could do, that they did when the Switch came out, is say in this presents at the end of the trailer, we are currently working on the next, mainline Pokemon game developed for Switch 2. Maybe they say we're working with this company, right, to give us a little bit of promise of what this stuff could look like. And then they basically say, like, we'll tell you at a later date. And then what that does is it kind of gives us permission to not be so crazy when we talk about Gen 10, when we talk about Gen 11. Now it's like, no, the Pokemon Company has confirmed Gen 10 is a real thing. Now us, the fans, other creators can all yap about it, and it makes sense, and we can get excited, right? And people are anticipating that. So when Pokemon Day does happen in... What is it? It's July. So we got like 7-8 months. In 7 months we can actually now expect to learn about Generation 10, which is what they'll tell us. But I feel like the purpose of that is also to be like, enjoy your games now. We've got new stuff coming for Switch 2, so buy a Switch 2, right? Because anyone who doesn't have a Switch 2 right now is just waiting for there to be games. This is something that could get people actually buying systems. When they did that with when they teased Generation 8, that motivated me to buy my Switch. It still took me like a year, 2 years for that game to come out, but still, I bought a Switch because of that type of announcement. So I'll give it that. Give that to you. I do think
they've done it before. I think that's like the biggest point to you, Dusty, is that they've done it before. They with Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, the year Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon was coming out, they said, "Oh, just so you're aware, we are developing a Pokemon game for the Nintendo Switch." And then with Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, when that was coming out, they said, "We're currently working on a more traditional Pokemon game for the Nintendo Switch." And so it was just kind of their way of letting the fans know, you need to buy this console if you want to keep playing our games. You know what I mean? Especially since with ZA, there's the Switch 1 and the Switch 2 edition. So you have to think about the average consumer, not the big fans like us, but the average consumer is going to think, okay, well, they're doing Switch 1 and Switch 2 edition, so I'm safe with my Switch. And so that's kind of their way of letting them know, no, you're not. You need to get a Switch 2.
I love this call-in show. Yeah. You can call on and we'll just tell you that your opinions are wrong. I love this.
I hope I did
want to support. I agree with what you're saying for sure. I think that that's the most likely scenario, but I did want to support him in saying that there's a world where they're like, we want the 30th anniversary to be the biggest thing ever. And if that, because just JD, right? You made that point. Yeah. It's like, if it was the biggest thing ever that they wanted to do, they could try to do something like that. So it's not
to do something different. I'm
completely out of the realm of possibility.
And it is weird. The announcement time of this presents, because that's the greatest thing that'll be said this entire show. That is weird.
I don't think it's that weird.
2 months ahead of time.
No, it is weird. I guess it's
weird.
It might be as simple as just people finally have a Switch 2. Guess what? Get your Switch 2. We'll give you 2 months because there's a Pokemon Presents coming out and we want to be able to sell units.
It's weird, but it's also dangerous because with all of that being said, it's very some people hype themselves up way too much over something like that. And I mean, I'm guilty of it a lot of times. Then I'm just like, I got to come back down to reality because just because they announced it 2 months early does seem insane, but it's like, why? And they could just do absolutely nothing.
It could
Like,
have
they
even
do the
been a
complete opposite.
strategic move, you know? Like, it could have been a thing of, they know how Pokemon fans are. They know that every week we go, oh, guys, I think there'll be a trailer this week because my mom's dad's uncle is a janitor at Game Freak and, you know, all this stuff. And
My Uncle Chuck.
I think that it's their way of kind of going, like, you know, it's late May, and they go, hey, Pokemon Presents July 22nd, so shut up. You're not getting it in June.
Yeah.
You know, like, that way they kind of are letting their fans know, don't go every week in June expecting information. You're not getting it. This is when you're getting your information. Happy, good, you know? And it worked because I don't see every week, oh, the Pokemon Company privated a video on YouTube. This means we're getting a trailer, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to move on. Thank you, JD, for calling in.
Yeah, no
Thank you
problem.
for supporting us, man. You're keeping this
thanks,
Yes,
podcast
thank you so much.
trucking. We really appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for
Enjoy
having
the
me.
Fun
hash
discussion,
brown.
too.
Yeah, enjoy those hash
Yes.
browns.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already
Hash
finished
Browns and
them.
Cyril Edge, a new podcast coming to you by JD.
All right, who's next? Dude, Gen 10 would be crazy if they actually...
Gen 10 would be, like,
Insane.
wild.
I'd say.
Yo, what's
I
up,
hope it
Cozy?
happens purely because we shut him down. Like, purely because we were like, no, I don't believe it. I hope it happens so that
Yeah,
JD
yeah.
can, like, add all of us and be like,
I just
Cozy, how are you?
I just see it so much
What's
in the
up, what's
community,
up?
and I'm... Yeah, sorry, I'm talking over Cozy now. What's up, man?
Sorry, Dusty, I didn't want to interrupt you. Hello,
No,
good to be
you're all
back
good.
again.
Yo.
Yeah, great
Thanks
to
for
hear
having
from
me
you.
on. Yeah, it's good to be
Welcome
back. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mostly have just one point to really talk about. Well, we've been going for a little bit, and well, we want to keep it a bit short. So
I know. I said 5 minutes. I've kind of... We texted behind
No-
the
no
scenes.
worries.
We kind of readjusted to 10 minutes because we realized that we need
Good.
more than 5 minutes to actually have a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 minutes is quite short, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, good. So you guys have touched on this a little bit earlier with Dwarf earlier, but well, I'm one of the few people out there, together with maybe Jake Steinberg, who play Pokemon for the story. So, well,
Yeah.
I would.
Story?
I know you. Yeah. So, like, I know Pokemon is like the
kidding.
story is never so deep, but well, and you guys have talked about earlier that they never really reveal the full story, of course. But I would like to get at least like a story synopsis, maybe. Like, what are we doing in Lumios? They still haven't really talked about that, except for there's the ZA Royale. That's cool, but like, what's the mission? What's the threat? What's the mystery?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe I want to know
feel
like
like
what drives us. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna interject a little tiny thing, which is I feel like that's guaranteed in this. If there's a ZA trailer in this, I think that this is the time that they do that. But that's
If
just
there's a ZA trailer in this?
yeah.
If?
And I don't know, man. I'm thinking about Unite these days. So
Dude, that's true. That's true. They did do that to us.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, please
Like-
continue, Cozy.
Yeah,
I
like
didn't want
what
to cut you off.
yeah, like what drives us forward, what keeps us hooked, and they also haven't really said anything about Zygarde, really. Like, oh, hey, by the way, here's Zygarde, but like, what's he doing? Why are we supposed to be interested in him? I am, but why are people in general supposed to be interested in him?
Right.
Yeah, and I'll be
And,
honest, I'm not. So I'm for your point. Like, they need to get me interested.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I am super interested because I'm a huge Pokemon fan, but for the general public who are maybe not as interested in Pokemon as I am, like, why should they be? I don't know.
Yeah. For sure. There's people that are Pokemon fans that are not part of the general. Well, they are the general public, but you know what I mean. They're not as a hardcore or whatever. They right now are like, I haven't thought about Legend ZA in like a month or so, or like 2 months. Like hardcore fans are saying this because
Yeah.
we haven't had any news,
Guess they
So
haven't given us a reason
Yeah.
to think about it.
Yeah, I think
Exactly.
most
So-
most fans treat Pokemon or think about Pokemon the same way that I think about like Donkey Kong. I'm like, oh, I think the game comes out this week, maybe next week. But like, there's also Donkey Kong lore heads who are like freaking out on Twitter right now about the new game that's coming out like in 48 hours. So like,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
think-
like,
Go ahead.
no, I was going to say, like, I'm like I listen to a podcast called the Hidden Power Podcast like almost every day.
Sure.
Actually, every day, I
Every
think.
day.
You sound
Most
nice.
people probably don't do that. So I mean, yeah, I know. The general public, I assume, just sees maybe one trailer and thinks, should I buy this game? You know. So
Yeah, and that's the thing they need to ask themselves is what's the thing that's going to get them off that fence and over to the yes, I should buy this game.
I think
that,
it's megas.
Yes, but like I think a good way to do that is obviously like you gotta show the new Mega soon, man.
Yeah.
Like you gotta like if they don't in this trailer, I don't know what they're doing.
I don't know why
I've
they're
joked on the
holding
show
that to their
before
chest.
that if they don't show new Megas in this trailer, I'm gonna start being convinced there aren't any. You know, and there are leaks suggesting otherwise. So that's you know,
I've seen a lot of people say that.
do you think plot stuff is like practically guaranteed in this trailer? I really feel like it is. If for nothing else, because on the the box art of the Legends EA game, we do see Emma, and they have not officially revealed Emma for this game. They just showed her on the. So I feel like the natural next step is to go, Emma, and kind of explain her role in the story, and then also on top of that, people have talked about how. In the trailer they gave us on Pokemon Day, at the end there was some kind of teaser to the ZA Royales, and then the next trailer was for the ZA Royales, and at the end of that one there's some kind of teaser where the player character is looking at something with like a pink aura, and like they're in a fighting stance, like they're ready to take something on. My guess is this is the like nobles equivalent in this game. So I would think that also gets revealed there, and there you kind of get some plot with that, because it's like, why am I fighting this thing,
Yeah, that'd be sick. Well, my next point was literally going. Oh, sorry, Saul. You can speak first.
No, go for it. I was just going backwards a little bit and just thinking about like why don't they actually promote Legends ZA? Like this is not a new generation game, and Legends Arceus was received well, but there was a lot of people that were like, this game isn't the game style for me. Do you know what I mean? Like this isn't my kind of Pokemon game. There was a lot of people that were like, the action isn't for me or whatever. It kind of, this is a semi new topic, but it makes me think like, why haven't they promoted this? They think that maybe they can just sell it no matter what because of new generation games, but this isn't a new generation game. So it's very odd to me that they haven't been promoting it enough. And I hope that changes now. So like with what you're saying, I'm hoping that everything you're talking about happens in this direct or presents.
I like how we're literally just talking about the story and Jake Steinberg appears in the chat.
He did appear.
Anyways, that was literally going to be my next point, is what Lumi was saying about Emma. Like what I like most about Pokemon in general, I think even maybe more than the story, are the characters. And so Emma, I think, has always been a very underrated character in the Pokemon universe. People don't really talk about her much, probably because she was in the X and Y pose game. So, many people probably haven't played that at all. Yeah, and so since Lumi said she's pretty much been revealed on the box art. I would love for them to actually officially reveal her now in this presents. Talk about her role in the story. That'd be cool.
Maybe Emma is the new Impidimp, though, where they're just going to like show her in each trailer but never officially reveal her.
Yeah. That is funny. They will do that with certain characters where like they will. I think it was Lutu was talking about there were like 3 characters. They were kind of like the bandits in Legends Arceus, but they don't even have like official art.
Yeah.
But they do they continue to show up throughout the game. It always sucks when there's some characters that are like that, you're like, oh, I wish this would get like a full profile. We could get some information about it. I think this goes back to what I was saying earlier about how like, I don't think this game is vast in content, like the way that we're typically thinking about it, or like the way we think about like a new generation where there's like a whole new Pokedex, a whole new cast of characters,
like 100 Pokemon.
Yeah, like that's new set. This is more about this, like it's a new gameplay experience in a familiar place, with some new things added on top. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's different, what's the word? I don't know, like, where we all, I'm sure, listening to this podcast right now would prefer new content, new megas to be announced, new characters to be announced. But I do think they have given us consistent trailers, maybe like one a month. Their social medias are constantly talking about Legends ZA. It's still in the zeitgeist. I think they're just kind of holding what they have, the very little that they can reveal as new content for closer to release. And we're getting there. I mean, we have this presents July 22nd, and a week later it's going to be August, September, October. Like, we're literally in the last 3 months before this game. I think they're going to start now slow trickling megas and new characters and plot points. I think the issue is that they told us about ZA like what feels like 2 years ago. They told us about it in 2020.
Almost been 2 years.
When they should have just
almost a year and a half.
If they just announced it this year at Pokemon Day in February, we would not.
It'd be a whole different.
We would not be freaking out about not having content. Like, they have been telling us about ZA. They are promoting it. I think they're just not. They have a limited amount of things that they can reveal, so they're not revealing it all up front. That's what it is. That one for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we feel like it's such a drought. Like, we feel like they're not promoting it much because we did go a year with zero promotion. So it feels way more empty than if they had just revealed it on Pokemon Day.
Yeah. At the same time, I do remember like Legends Arceus and BDSP, and there was a big chunk. That chunk of time doesn't feel like anything compared to the chunk of time we just went through, but there was a big like lull in the middle, and I was just like, are we ever going to get anything from this game? BDSP, it was like nothing, and Legends Arceus didn't start until like probably
August.
around now, which so
and that's what I'm saying is
we could just get a whole bunch now. So
we actually have gotten more than, when you look at it like that, than we have Legends Arceus at this point, because like with Legends Arceus, we got the announcement for it in February, and we got nothing except for box art and release date, and that was it. It was just a shadow drop of that in May, and then in August we got the presents that started giving us like actual substantial information about it.
Yeah.
But with ZA, we have gotten 2 substantial trailers, and we did get the Nintendo Switch 2 edition reveal, which I don't think is like it wasn't like this world bending reveal.
The footage does look good.
What was it like?
The footage does look good, but I'm just saying it wasn't like a trailer, you know what I mean?
It was a trailer. Oh no, sure. The Switch. No, you're right. It was like 20 seconds. I know what you're saying.
It was like 20
So
seconds.
I think something else that's going on here is it feels, in this little bubble of 20 people, and all of you beautiful listeners, right? All 10,000 of you listening. I do think if you're listening to this, you're probably also tapped into the leaks, and the leaks also kind of ruin the excitement of the mystery of what could be revealed. I forget if there were leaks for Legends Arceus to this extent, but I also think that something that's happening is that there's also just inherent preference for, I think, when we're talking about Legends Arceus, because it was set in the past, because it like fundamentally feels like a different game, even more so than Legends ZA, right? Because it was set in Hisui, and there's ancient Pokemon, and there's lore, like there's all this mystery swirling in our minds, right? We can fill in the blanks. It's like, oh, it's a different time setting. That means everything could be different, and these people could be different. Like, there was a different thing there, right? Even the characters felt like new reveals or like regional forms of familiar faces, right? I think all of that.
They were like regional forms.
They really were.
Familiar faces.
I never thought of it like that, but that's literally probably what Game Freak was like. These are like regional forms of humans.
Right. They were like older Braviary, older, Professor Rowan.
Yeah. So I think because of these circumstances and the fact that we've known about Legends ZA so much longer, it's just kind of like it feels a little bit boring to the to the hardcore fan, but to the regular person, I don't think there's any risk that Pokemon is like in trouble of. I think this game's gonna sell really well, especially it's gonna sell on Switch too. We got Champions coming right after it, so now all of a sudden ZA Pokemon and Megas are in the zeitgeist competitively. Like it's gonna be great. I think it's gonna be great.
I am very curious to see what happens.
But I think we gotta. I don't have a time. I should have a timer in front of me. I'm gonna start using this timer. But we gotta move on. Cozy,
Yeah,
it's
good idea.
it's so great to talk to you, man. I appreciate you supporting. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you guys very much.
Yeah, man. I'll see
thanks
you
for being
over.
here.
I know. We'll see you on some other
Over
streams.
everywhere.
We'll see you on
Discord,
Twitter.
Twitter, YouTube, everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm everywhere.
It's been cozy as always. Yeah.
That's great. Thank you very much for having me on.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Bye, man.
See ya.
Before we call in our next guest, I wanted to give a little moment to shout out
yeah.
our different Patreon and YouTube members. You know,
Some
y'all are
of
the
you
reason
that
that
are-
this show happens.
Yeah, some of you guys are literally in this call right now.
And I mean, you know, can't do the show without y'all. Y'all directly fund the show. We appreciate it so much. Of course, we want to give a special shout out to our mythical tier supporters: Ryan, Amphosinus, Coronet Highlander, Chris, Adam Gibson, Tyler Low 15, Wild Zenith, Normal Guy, Ball Guy, Doom Typhlosion, Brain Dead, Nicholas Taylor, the Pokey Kiddo 1. We want to give a special shout out to our Arceus tier supporters: Red, Lethal Randy, and SEH Art Gold, and a mega evolved shout out to our Game Freak Inc. level members, Young Smokey and Bramtastic. Thank you all so much.
Thank you guys so much
you guys.
for all your continued support. One of the best perks of you guys supporting us is that we actually get to talk to you right here in the secret Discord, the secret Hidden Power Discord, and on this live call-in show, breaking the fourth wall. You know, we're doing this recording right now in front of you all. But yeah, it honestly is really special to be able to talk to you guys and, you know, grow, you know, this a relationship. That's too strong of a word. This friendship. I don't know what the word is. This connection right over the last year, 2-3 years. Really appreciate all of you guys supporting and keeping the show independent and funded, etc. If you're watching right now, if you're listening, if you're driving to work, and you're thinking to yourself, man, I love this show so much. You know, I would be devastated if I couldn't listen to Hidden Power Podcast every single week, multiple times a week. Consider joining us on Patreon or becoming a YouTube channel member, whatever's the most convenient. All of the perks are the same. There's links in the description. As little as $5 a month, you get all of our access. You get full access to all of our bonus podcasts. You can join the secret Discord. There's a ton of perks within there. We do movie nights, the Battle League. You can join in on this call. Literally everyone that you're hearing today is supporting us. You could be one of those people on a podcast. So much more. There's 10%
When
off
you're
merch, so
listening
much
to
more.
this, we're doing another one very, very soon, a call-in show. So go ahead and get your membership so that you can make it to that one.
Yeah, and if you want your name read on every single show, these higher tiers, you get full bragging rights, and you get to you know, support at this higher level, and we'll read your name on the show every single day, or every single week. Not every single day, every single week.
Every single
Every
day
single
we do the
hour
show.
of the day. So
I mean, if we put 2 episodes that week, you'd get read twice.
but listen, yeah, I'm not joking. You guys keep us independent. We you know, it's nice to be able to just do what we got to do to make you guys happy, to make us happy, because we get to talk about the stuff that we want to talk about. So
You're the reason Disney hasn't monopolized us.
yeah, the only boss we have is you guys. So we'll do whatever you guys say. We'll do whatever you want. Whichever we
Within
do.
reason.
We'll dance. I'm a monkey.
No.
I'm typing "Hey boss" in the chat now.
So who's next? Who's next
Who
on
we
the
got?
call?
Hands up.
Hands up.
Wasn't there someone
An
already?
invite has been sent to Persian Wolf. There we are.
Ooh.
Giovanni with a Persian.
Yeah, this is cool.
Hey guys,
What's going on?
Hey, how are you?
long time listener here. I've been excited for this call-in show for quite a bit. So happy to be
Awesome.
here, guys.
Let's go.
Happy to have you.
When did you join?
Thanks for being here.
How long did we make you wait?
I think I joined maybe a couple months ago,
Awesome.
but
Appreciate
I've been trying to figure it out for a minute now, and I was like, how are these guys calling into the show? And then before I know, I just paid attention to the show a little bit more, and I was like, okay, gotta
Yeah,
get me.
that's how
You
it
guys are-
works. Yeah.
You guys are my first Patreon that I've ever done. So.
Dude, I really appreciate
Honored.
that.
Oh, thank
really
you.
appreciate that.
That's
It's kind of crazy
So-
because it's like I'm the same way. I don't pay for a lot of Patreons, but like I think the first one that I really signed up for, it was the podcast, the comedians podcast, Stavi Baby, Stavi's World.
That's good.
And like as soon as it's $5, but as soon as I did that, I was like, it just changed my relationship with, or my understanding, the brain chemistry. Like it changed my understanding of like paying for something. Like I'll spend $10 at McDonald's, no problem. I'll spend $20, $30 at McDonald's, no problem, right? But when it comes to like a digital product, I'm like, no, I would never do that. Like I can hear my mother being like, we have that at home, right? But like, but I don't know. Now I do sign up for
What
other
is hidden power at home?
Yeah, it's your own group chat with your buddies. But like and I'm just trying to say like I don't even know what I'm trying to say. But like yeah, I signed up for some other Patreons and I was like, this is awesome. I'm contributing to the thing that I love and I'm getting all of this bonus content. You know, whatever. Anyways, it's always worth it. It's always worth it. I'm resetting the clock because I just monologued on you.
Yeah, there you go.
agree.
Reset that clock.
I would just tag one thing on before I get to my point, but I agree. I'm as like a lot of other guys here. I listen to your all's show several times a week during work, and it just helps me get by the boring times at work. So
Yeah.
it's truly appreciative to be able to chat with you guys finally.
Dude, I really appreciate
Thanks,
that. Yeah,
man.
that's
Means a
I
lot.
love
Means a
chatting
lot.
to you, and
I've
it
been
means
there.
a lot. It's touching.
I've been there.
Yeah. So my predictions, and I think a lot of other guys kind of touched on the same. I think we typically see over the last 7 games that have come out Pokemon wise for the Switch, there have been an average about 8 months, 8.5 months for marketing between announcements to release date. And I think that we're from now until next February, it's about 7 months. So I think it's a little too short of a time period for them to announce Gen 10 to be coming out on Pokemon Day. And I kind of agree with you guys whenever you guys were saying that it just makes more sense for the November release. So I think what we're going to see is we might see like, hey, we're working on it or something to that effect. But everything that I've been seeing about the Switch 2 is that now consoles are getting a lot more limited since the release. And a lot of people have been predicting that there's not going to be a major release of Switch 2 consoles until next summer. So I think with Pokemon being as far forward looking, I think they're going to play it safe this year, announce Pokemon Gen 10 next February,
Ooh.
and I think we're going to see what my bold prediction is, which I guess not necessarily super bold, but I think that they're going to announce like Pokemon Classic type games. It's been
There it
7
is.
or 8 years. It's I think it's coming up on 8.5 years for the Switch to have completely been released, the Gen 1. So we haven't really had Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Red, all those games that came out the next couple of generations since the DS time, whenever you could buy it digitally. So I think we're going to see big thing on ZA. It's about 3 to 4 months out, which they typically start releasing a lot of stuff because usually they have the August presents. And then you have the games released in November most of the time. So we're about 3-4 months out from the release of ZA. I think we're going to see a big push of the 20-25 minutes for ZA. And then we might get a touch on, hey, Gen 10 is going to be coming out. Keep an eye out for that because they'll announce that next February and then they'll have a full 8-month marketing period and another presents to really blast what they're going to do with Gen 10. And then I think they're going to be like, we've redone or remastered, not necessarily like, I'm sure they might do Heart Gold and Soul Silver and Fire Red and stuff like that. But I think we're going to see the OG because people have just been really hungry for it. I keep finding myself being like, man, I really just want to play that old 8-bit style Pokemon game, get that nostalgia factor going on. And I think
Yes.
that's what we're going to see announced. They're going to be like, hey, here's ZA. Here's all the stuff you want for ZA for the next 4 months to give you some content. And then after that, they're going to be like, we're going to give you the Pokemon Classics games because it kind of just matches 30-year anniversary. What would they release on 30-year anniversary? The OG nostalgic 30-year-old games.
Oh, dude.
And then I think
do I have
that's
to
what they're
say it?
going to take. I
No.
I really hope that's the case. So that's my kind of prediction for it, because I think we might even see Pokemon start pushing the limits to having 4 years in between games. Like right now, it's the 3 year mark. I think the games are going to be more expansive. There's more time and dedication they have to. There's more graphical things that they have to put into it. So I think we're going to see 4 years. So we're going to get Gen 10 in 2026, and then I think, as crazy as it sounds, 2030 is going to be Gen 11. They're going to really let people play the game, and they're going to include more DLCs. They've just seen every year they develop an add-on to every game. Like Sword and Shield had a little bit of the open world, but it was very linear. Then they added Arceus, and that was completely open world, but it didn't really have the game dynamic. Scarlet and Violet was pretty much completely open world, but it wasn't set up for the Switch 1. So I think they're just going to be like, we have to incorporate all of these things into Gen 10 and then build upon that for Gen 11, which
Oh
is
my
obviously
God.
super smart to do. But
Yeah.
I think that's how they're going to play it a little safe here, but I think it's still going to be a lot of punch for the fans.
What do you guys think? I love this.
I
think they're
that's
coming.
A very, very
at some point.
rational. That's a rational point of view, though.
Mhm.
I mean, yes, I agree with what Lumi's about to say, which is that it makes the most sense for the 30th anniversary, right? Is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah, I mean, it makes the most sense then, but like I do think they're coming. Like, there's we're not gonna never see those games again,
I've been calling,
especially not. We haven't had
Wolf.
Johto for so long. I just want to play. I want to play Gold and Silver.
I've been ringing the
Like you said.
bell for 4 years, and I was wrong, and I've been wrong
for 4 years.
and I've kind of just like, I don't expect it at this point, but I do think 4 years ago when I started getting wrong, I was like, I guess we're just not getting it until the 30th. And if we don't get it on the 30th, we could still get it in the future, but I'm really just gonna not hold my breath.
You're gonna never think about it.
Like
again.
I'm like, it's not
It's like,
happening.
no.
I'm going to be completely doomer pilled, but I do think it makes the most sense for those games to start reappearing. Like, I don't know. I just try to think about the window that makes sense. And we do have this new system, right? It's a new system, New system. What's, fresh start, right? I think and it's also the 30th anniversary, and we also have this long build up for Generation 10. We don't even know what that's going to be. I don't know. I feel like they got to start like reviving those. And for a long time, I guess I anticipated after Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl that a solution could be just giving us hopefully improved versions of what Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl was, but to give those to us for Gold and Silver, for Red and Blue, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Even Gen 3, all the Gen 4 games, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, you could do it for Gen 5. Like, I feel like they could do that, and they could give us like full $60 games, but I don't know. Or they could just port it. I don't know.
I do think you've said in the past something that does have me really like kind of feeling it, and that's with the idea of Champions coming, and I think the thing we're all most excited for about Champions is that it's going to be taking from Pokemon Home, your Pokemon that are in there. So it does kind of make sense to give us access to older games so that you can do that. Now that said,
I get
the
a brain
immediate
blast.
caveat to that is that right when ZA releases, we know that ZA will fulfill the prophecy of, with the current games on Switch, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, Sword and Shield, Legends Arceus, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, Scarlet and Violet, and ZA, all Pokemon will be available on Switch.
Okay, I'd like to present something. If we take a step back and not think about these ports unlocking Pokemon, but instead unlocking art styles.
Memories. Oh.
Jake Steinberg,
On Champion.
3-4 months ago, we were having a text conversation about what we were talking about, what Nintendo owned and released and published ports of these old Pokemon games, what they would have to do, what those ports would have to do to make them more valuable or as enticing as convenient. Like what's the sell beyond, oh, this is an official republish of these older games. And Jake had suggested, he's like, bro, they got to do something that actually makes it worth your money. Otherwise, there's no reason why you can't just use your old games or pirate them. What you just said, Lumi, is so cool, because now I'm thinking about, basically, if I buy the port of the Generation 3 games, not only can I use those Pokemon in Champions, but now what I'm doing is unlocking the Gen 3 art style in Champions. So now I can battle with Generation 1 to 3 Pokemon in the... Basically, I can have Pokemon Emerald battles. I can have Pokemon battles that look like Pokemon Emerald, which is what I used to do growing up, right? And they could apply that for any other generation. This is something that I have talked about before. And if you even look at the trailer for Pokemon Champions, the launch trailer for Pokemon Champions, you even see all these people playing through Pokemon battles through the generations. This would be beautiful.
I don't know if I buy this one.
It would be so cool, but I think this goes back to
what do you think about the idea? I'm not talking about whether or not it's true or not, but what do you think about the idea?
Yeah, love the idea. I think it goes back, though, to what Soul and I believe Dwarfinator was also saying about, our expectations have been able to run amok, and I don't think this is ever happening, but it would be very cool.
It would be beautiful if it did happen.
It would be so cool.
The
coolest thing they've ever done.
Logistically think about it, but
I've always wanted them to do like they've had so many games, I think like Dragon Quest, one of the more recent ones, and then like the Halo Master Chief Collection, I think, where you could like hop back and forth between new and old graphics. I've always thought something like that would be fun. So I do like the idea of like older graphics hit all the nostalgia. There's been like 4 or 5 generations of people that have seen the first Pokemon to the most recent one. But I think, kind of to your point, Lumi, I think what we might see is when we get these new classic games, and what might be the selling point is, since Gen 1 first came out almost 30 years ago, they've changed so much of all of the Pokemon. They've added more types, more moves, different like level up moves. It's just different things that they've added to each of those Pokemon that have been there since Gen 1 that it might not necessarily sync. So it's like, okay, I want to play with my Gen 1 Venusaur, but some of the move sets are completely different, or the typings are completely different, or if I want to play with my Jigglypuff, Wigglytuff from Gen 1, it's going to be only normal type, where like the new ones are all fairy type and stuff like that. So I think they're going to kind of tweak the games to match the current play styles. So I think in that way, it's a little easier to port into the Champions and just make it more synchronous. So
yeah,
that's my
sense.
theory.
I did want to go back to something else that you said, which was about the Switch 2. Like right now, I don't have one, and I'm trying to get one, and it's like impossible to find.
It is.
So
the truck got robbed. Like $1.4 million worth of Switch 2s or something was stolen.
That was crazy. I just wanted to like put it out there that like we as Pokemon fans really want Gen 10 to be exclusively for the Switch 2, made for the Switch 2. We know that it actually started development on the Switch 1. The reason we want it to be only on the Switch 2 is because we want it to be better quality, basically. But there's definitely a world where it's on both the Switch 1 and Switch 2, especially if Nintendo, Game Freak, the Pokemon Company, had enough foresight to be like, we're not going to have enough Switch 2s. In Japan, it's like sold out hardcore. Like there's nothing. And I'm in the US right now, and I'm having a hard time getting one right now. So what you were saying with it coming out, or it being sold more, the Switch 2 being sold more like next summer, is definitely more likely. They could still make Gen 10 for just the Switch 2, because at that point maybe a lot more people will have the Switch 2.
No, Gen 10 is just going to be for Switch 2. That's my I'm locking it in. I know. I'm locking it in.
I agree with Dusty. It's just like there was so many issues with Violet and Scarlet, and it was just Pokemon's just known for everything being pretty pristine up until that point. So I think, I even think if to kind of flip it, I kind of almost think that they were anticipating Scarlet and Violet to be the first Pokemon game that was dual Switch 2 and Switch 1. But then Nintendo, for whatever, was like, we need to push this launch date back, and let's push it back one more time. And it's just been now. It's like,
Have you
they don't
played
wanna-
Scarlet and Violet on Switch too?
I have. It's so much nicer.
Yeah,
It's-
I agree.
it's
It's a whole new game. I
mind-blowing.
love playing. I literally love picking it up and playing it. It's like a brand new game.
Yeah, it
there was
feels
definitely
a little
delays.
bit like the Arceus style, where you just see Pokemon popping up all over the place.
It's so cool. I think Gen 10 is gonna like blow our minds. It's like we're gonna pick it up, like we're gonna see the first trailer and we're gonna be like, wait, Pokemon can be good. Wait, I thought it could only be bad.
Man, I'm so less hopeful than you guys.
Yeah,
But
I know.
whatever.
I've, like,
they have to
I'm
slam
not that
dunk.
hopeful.
I still don't know how Lumi's
Nope.
played Scarlet and Violet and he's like, meh. Like he's played it Scarlet and Violet on Switch too, and I feel like I don't know how you're not like impressed by it.
They
No,
have to slam
impressed.
dunk.
I say
Very
impressed.
impressive.
Impressed in contrast to what it was. Impressed, in contrast.
I mean, yes, it is, but the game is still has a hideous art style, is a bland world, and like, okay, great, you fixed the frame rate.
but
of
it's
Scarlet
not
and
bland
Violet.
when you
That
play. When you play it
doesn't-
now, it's not bland because there's actually things happening.
No, it is still bland. There's more Pokemon, but the world is bland. The world of Paldea is bland.
On paper, but yeah, for me, when I pick it up, it's like it's like harder for me to look. It's like the initial game is in front of me with all the Pokemon, so I'm not looking past them at all the other flaws. Obviously, the flaws are still there. I'm just like, when I'm playing the game, I'm like able to enjoy a little bit closer to what the vision of the directors, had for Scarlet and Violet. It's kind of my point. Like,
Yeah, all
That
I
makes
know
sense.
is I ran around on it for an hour and a half on a live stream, and my ultimate takeaway was, wow, this looks so much better. Still Scarlet and Violet.
you
though.
should listen. We should do in the Discord. We should do like the BB academies. We should get like a bunch of people like in there playing it off screen, like off stream. So we're not making it content and we're just having fun. Because I've been playing with it only like pretty much offline, and it's like a blast.
I'm playing it off stream as well. For the
Oh, you
record.
have been?
I've
Oh, okay,
playing
okay.
it, yeah. My first experience was on stream, but I've because I pick up my game every now and then. I battle people every now and then. I like to train Pokemon and stuff like that. Especially like with champions and with like leaked ZA megas on the horizon. I'm like already like, okay, well I'm gonna get me like a perfect IVs, this Pokemon and all that. But I just
I'm having a blast.
I mean, it also helps. Dusty, you and I talked about this a little bit in private. You didn't play Scarlet and Violet as much after the DLC as I did, and so I think that's another thing too.
I'm
is
discovering
I have
things.
Played this game for 3 years. I'm ready to move on.
Yeah. What I'm
That's a big
looking
part of
forward
it.
to
It's a
is
big
like
part of
in 2 years from now when you're like, or maybe it's 2 decades. But like when you eventually go back to when you get a little curious about Scarlet and Violet and you're like, nostalgia, like, and you pick it back up on your Switch too. I feel like you're gonna be like, holy cow, because I started the game from the beginning, and even the intro is like so much different. Like that, like 2 hours of gameplay looks so much better. Anyways, we're getting off topic, and it's been like 20 minutes, and we appreciate you. I can't see your username right here.
Persian Wolf.
Persian Wolf. Yeah, the
Persian.
Discord is truncating your name. All I can see is P.
But you can see the Persian picture.
Yes, I can see the Persian.
That's what I see.
Do you have any more points about the Pokemon Presents? Any more predictions or?
That's pretty much it. I think we'll see some megas, but I think you guys are pretty much hitting it. And I think the next guy's probably going to hit the same points that I have. I
Love
just
it.
think that the timelines are going to be pushed. So
Dude, we appreciate you so much. We're
Interesting.
looking forward to talking to you
Yeah.
again on the next call-in show.
Yeah.
Like I said, for listeners, we're going to be doing another one of these in a couple of weeks after the Presents to get everyone's feedback and theories and predictions.
We can see if we were right or wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
And we will shame all of you, except JD will get to shame us
Yeah.
when Gen 10 is announced.
Yeah. Thank you, Persian, so much. Who's next?
Thank you. Who's next?
Next up is P1. An invite has been sent to you, P1 Polyrath.
That's
Polyrath.
P1 Polyrath.
I gotta say,
Just accept the invite and you'll come on.
P1 Polyrath has literally made me appreciate Polyrath more. I was playing Scarlet and Violet, and I with Jake, and I did the synchro machine with my shiny Polyrath, and it was so cool to run around the region flexing like a Polyrath. I was recording a video, and I made a reference to like really cool fighting types, and I mentioned Polyrath, and it's just like I can't get it out of my mind now, all because of P1. Oh, you're on mute.
P1,
you're on mute.
You are on. You're muted though. Gotta mute yourself.
Let's see.
But how are you doing once you figure that out?
You are muted.
Muted
How
or
often
not
do you
there.
guys think about Polyrath?
Polyrath
that
is my Roman Empire. No, that's not true.
Uh,
I prefer Polytoad if I'm honest.
yeah, Polytoad's pretty good.
Same.
I think Poliwhirl
Let's not-
is the best.
Let's not offend the man now.
That's not an
But-
that's not an offense. It's a preference.
That said, P1, how are you today?
I didn't say he shouldn't. Polyrath shouldn't exist. Carnivine. I don't know if Carnivine should exist.
It does
I'm
say
just
you're
kidding.
on
I'm
just
muted
kidding.
now,
I'm just
but we're
kidding.
not hearing you.
Yeah.
Check your
Technical
mic
difficulties.
settings.
Yeah, you want to make sure your mic's coming from the right
I
place.
want to talk to my man P1.
I know.
While he sets that up, do you guys have any ideas about like you guys? This was brand new information that came out today. The Pokemon Company teased next week's Pokemon Presents. They showed this like Pikachu looking at. It kind of looks like a DJ set. There's like some speakers. There's a couple. Yeah, it would be a DJ set. There's a couple records, like some buttons. I think a lot of comments were saying it's going to be a new game. Hilarious. Zatumi
Sound
says
type information.
it could be a sound type. Yeah, hilarious. Did you guys have any like thoughts on this?
My first thought was that it would be like a music app, but their music is on is already included on the like Nintendo music app, so maybe I'm wrong on that. P1 does say his mic is now working.
Let's
though.
test it out,
Try to
P1.
speak for us, P1. Let's hear your beautiful voice.
Damn.
If you're talking, we cannot hear you.
P1, we might have to come
Nothing.
back to you at the end of the show or when you get this figured out. P1, check your mic settings. Just to see.
I wish it would allow us to see their mic so
Sure.
that we could like help them out.
I
Like,
know.
oh, it says your mic's coming from here. You know.
Yeah, if you go to the mic and you there should be a drop down menu and you can select which mic you actually want to use for
Okay.
Discord.
He
But
said,
we-
yeah, I'll
P1
come
said to
back and
come
figure it
back
out.
and figure it out.
yeah,
Okay,
we got to move
so
on.
Next person we've got is Brandon the God 18. An invite has been sent to you to speak.
Nice. It's nice. I'm
So
remembering
accept that
all of
invite.
these people from last time. What's up, man?
Indeed. Hey,
What's up?
how are you?
Alive.
Nice.
Cool. I hear that.
That's good.
I hear that.
good.
What are your predictions for the Pokemon Presents?
Oh, dang.
Oh, he just
He
sent
did
it.
the whole
Dropped his
thing.
bingo. He dropped his bingo.
Yeah.
Let's see. Open link. Oh, here we go. This is
see.
nuts. So
I've
what's
already
your
seen a
number
wild
one
one.
prediction for this Pokemon Presents? I got your I got your prediction bingo board right up right now.
My number one is hard to pick off of this. I'm gonna go with something that I've said every single time. We need Mega Dragonite.
I was literally looking at that and laughing because it's the only one that's like all caps.
Yep.
Oh, no. The only,
Yeah.
yeah, it is the only one.
Yeah, it's the only
Hilarious.
one that's all caps. We do need Mega Dragonite, so I agree with this. And, you know, some people are saying that Koo's little riddle might be hinting at that.
Yep.
Um,
I think I'm
But-
most interested in like how Mega Dragonite's actually going to look. I feel like there's been a lot of rumors about like what the megas in ZA are going to look like, and I feel like there's I can't even remember if it's a rumor or if it's general discourse or if it's literally just conversation from this podcast. But I love the idea that maybe there's like not a new type of mega. Maybe all of these megas will be Mega Z, right? Essentially. But I do like the idea that like all of the megas
It'll be
in Legend
Z-shaped.
ZA in Kalos have a specific, just some sort of little specific motif or detail on them, similar to how like all the past Paradox Pokemon have like, yellow eyes and like some red spikes or something. You know what I'm saying? Like just a little detail that maybe ties them all together. I don't know if maybe they're all fashion based or something. That's super surface level and uninspired of a prediction, but I'm excited to see. Yeah, I'm excited to see what Dragonite's going to look like if we get the Mega Dragonite. I'm excited to see that and maybe maybe we can learn something about what all of these designs could look like.
I mean, what we've heard about Mega Dragonite specifically is like angel wings, right? And so if you kind of run with that, angels are like a common like thing you see in France, like in like art and architecture. There's usually like angels. France has a pretty heavy Christian, predominantly Catholic background. So like history. So like angels are kind of everywhere. So I think that would be your thing you're getting, is that these will be overtly French somehow. And that's how Dragonite is.
We'll see. We don't really know. We just have these descriptions. So
what do you think?
Anyway, we need Mega Dragonite. Yeah.
I got a lot of basic stuff on here too, just like stuff that do every presents. A little bit more on Generation 5 remakes.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. What does your heart say?
Yeah.
What does your heart say? What do you imagine?
Well, I'm tying this into, earlier when somebody was talking about Generation 10 coming out on Pokemon Day next year. I don't think it's going to be Generation 10.
Yeah.
I don't. I
Okay.
think it's going to be Gen 5 remakes. And the reason is they have the black and white set coming out for the TCG this month. Literally Friday.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think that's going to tie into it.
Sure.
And
Good.
they also, it's been one of those things they've been doing. The last one was, what was it? Pearl.
What do you think? What are you thinking about?
The last remakes they did.
Yeah, Brilliant Diamond.
Yeah,
and Shining
Brilliant
Pearl.
Diamond, Shining
I
Pearl.
honestly think Legends Arceus counts. I think it counts, but yeah, it's Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Dude, that would be
So
insane if
it's
there's a
about
Gen
that
5
time.
remake. I would much prefer them to just go give us a Gen 6 faithful remake. That'd be epic. Because it just goes hand in hand, and all of a sudden it's like, listen, you like Legends ZA, you're gonna buy. If you don't buy that, or if you're turned off by that in some way, you'll probably buy a remake so you can play it on your Switch too. That's my biggest prediction. Not prediction, but that's my that would be nice to have. That would be a fun wild card pick.
I think this is definitely a wild idea, though. So you're saying that Gen 10 wouldn't come out next year, and that the black and white remake would? Is that what I'm understanding?
Oh, you're saying in 2026?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking
Big.
instead of Gen 10 on Pokemon Day, it would be
Oh,
the
okay.
remake to hold us over
Gotcha.
until Gen 10 comes out.
So you think
Gotcha.
ZA champion somewhere in there, then black and white remakes February 2026, and then Gen 10 November 2026?
Exactly.
Okay.
I mean, champions. We are
keep
we
us
are talking
fed.
about champions. Yeah, I'm down. We are talking about champions a lot with what we're expecting, but it could end up being something really smaller than we think even. So, it is technically, I don't know if it's like mainline either. It's like kind of a spin-off. So if you don't count champions in that whole thing, it doesn't sound that crazy for it to be like.
No, yeah, no,
I don't even.
It doesn't.
I know, like it's kind of you can count champions, but I'm like I kind of fall on it where I'm like, champions is not. I mean, it is a new game, but it's not like it doesn't take the slot of a Switch 2 game because it's not a Switch 2 game. I mean, it is a Switch 2 game, but it's like Pokemon Pocket or something,
We don't know that.
It is,
Yeah.
dude.
Bottom
No,
line. We
dude,
just
it's not
don't
gonna have
know.
a campaign
No,
like
but we
that.
don't know. You can say that, but I can also say that it could be.
But it's
it
on
could be
mobile.
either or. I'm not siding with you or not siding with you. It's on mobile and on Switch.
It is on.
So you know what I mean? Like,
it is on Switch.
It could literally be the best game ever or the worst game ever. So like, it doesn't.
Yeah.
We know nothing. So
Yeah,
it is.
I think-
It's a possible thing to think. Oh, the black and white remake that we've heard about forever. You know, like, oh, what could we do for the 30th anniversary? Drop this like faithful black and white remake on Pokemon Day.
And I think it does make sense to kind of, you want everyone to be hyped through the 30th anniversary, right? Because if the 30th anniversary game is Gen 10, great, we get an announcement in February, and that's awesome that we get, the game in November. But there is going to be, 9 months of nothing. Like, trailers, sure, but, what are we playing? So I can see why Gen 5 remakes would be the guess there. My personal guess will be Legend ZA DLC, though, just because, allegedly that was at one point planned for June of this year. Like, so originally ZA was going to release November 2024, and then DLC was going to release in June of 2025. So my thing is, okay, well, if that's the case, maybe that's what keeps us fed next year, and they drop, Legend ZA DLC in May or June of next year.
Yeah.
Not to go back to 3 callers ago, but I really do love that idea of I feel like Pokemon Champions has an opportunity. Like, if I'm Game Freak, has an opportunity to promote and incentivize future purchases of Pokemon games that maybe new players don't have on, like, I don't know, just like Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. What if a perk, and we've seen them do this before, if you have a game but you have save data from another game, right, which is incentivization for another purchase, you get like a perk in that, in game A or whatever. So I could see in Pokemon Champions, if you have Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl save data on your Switch 2, let's say, or maybe just connected to Pokemon Home, if it's all through Pokemon Home, with, like, mechanically we don't know how it's going to work, but, like, let's say you have save data from Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Now you can have access to the Gen 4 art of, or the Gen 4 art style, the pixel art for battling in Champions. And I think another detail here that maybe I haven't really led on, and, it kind of sounds like what I'm saying is just all cosmetics, but truthfully, there are meta differences. Listen, not you guys. Yeah. I love you guys. But in the chat or in our comments, there have been so many comments saying, I don't care about competitive, or I'm ignorant to competitive. But no one's talking about how, like, all of these every single Pokemon generation has different, what would you call it? Meta spreads, meta strategies. Pokemon moves work differently. Pokemon themselves have different stats. They have different abilities. They have access to different things. Like Pokemon in Generation 3 or 4 or 5 work so different than those same exact Pokemon in Generation 9. So there is merit to unlocking, or, those types of, like, competitive play, right? Otherwise, like, if it's only whatever the current meta is for free play, like, that sucks. Like, I feel like by unlocking and giving players the ability to battle in the same formats that they grew up playing throughout the years is so much more interesting, Yeah,
I mean, I personally don't think, I have 2 comments on that, and that is, one, I personally don't think they'll want to revisit older metas purely because they've changed it. They've moved on. And I think that's cool.
And I'm talking about free play, just for the record, just for your response. I'm talking about free play. I'm not talking about VGC.
Yes.
VGC is like, VGC is like less than 1% of the population.
I hear you, but I still feel like the Pokemon company's like, no, we've changed the way it works now. Steel does not resist, dark anymore. That's not how it works anymore. We've done a physical special split. We don't want to have that feature. And also, it's crazy to me, Dusty, that you can't believe that there could be a campaign in this game, but you think there'll be all this.
No. Sorry, I said campaign earlier. There can be a campaign. My point was, there's not going to be a world to explore like a main series game.
Sure.
It's still a battle simulator. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
It's for competitive. No, I just had that thought. We were having this discussion. I had that thought, and I'm like, it really would be beneficial to, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. I grew up playing competitive in Gen 5, and 4, 5, and 6 is when I played competitive, and there are definitely people who would prefer to, battle during that era. And when you go back to battle, like, I don't know, whatever. We're just going down a rabbit hole, but I think that matters for free play. For free play, it matters.
I think it's a bonus, but I don't think it matters.
I think it matters. I think it matters. What is it?
I tend to send people into spirals. It's okay.
Yeah. Appreciate you. We are at time, so we got to move on to the next person. But appreciate you calling in. Appreciate you supporting and keeping this show running. Really appreciate you calling in.
I think we're gonna post our presents prediction thing again, and you should post this comment this underneath.
Yeah, that'd be good.
So everyone can see all of your predictions here.
Yeah. All right, we got a couple more people. Would love to. It's Gigalecki is next. Starting the clock. How you doing? You're on mute.
It's Gedgy.
How's it going?
Hey,
Good.
how are you?
What's up?
It's Jeji Alecki.
Jeji
As I was
Alecki.
doing,
Jeji
I knew this was going to be
For
a problem.
soft G? Okay.
Soft G.
No, I like it.
Yeah.
It's like Reggie Alecki, but
Jeji Alecki,
G.
yeah, okay.
Yes. I thought it was clever. I felt pretty good about it.
No,
No,
it's
it's great.
Hilarious. I
It's
love
great. We're just dumb,
No, I knew it was going to be a problem, but first off, I want to give you guys your flowers. This has been like awesome following you guys and listening to the podcast. It's very, it's so easy to fall out of Pokemon when you don't have a community or a lot of people around you that play are still into it. So this has been great.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that means
Thanks so much.
honestly a lot.
That means
I
a
really
lot
appreciate
hearing that, honestly.
For sure.
You don't have to spend
uh,
too much time, so we can get your get your predictions.
Appreciate you, dude. I appreciate you supporting and putting your money where your mouth's at and keeping us alive.
Sure.
Really appreciate
Definitely.
it.
I think
Awesome.
I think it's going to be a pretty regular presents. To be honest, I think the
Yeah,
advanced
this is the most
So real.
unhinged.
Bring us down.
Yes.
Yeah.
because I think if you think of when the Switch 2 comes out, you're thinking like a big part Mario, Zelda, Pokemon. 2 of those things are in a Nintendo Direct, so they don't need to add on to the hype that's already coming with a new console. Like that will get covered. So Pokemon, to keep themselves like in the consciousness of a new console and what's to come, I think that's part of it, to at least get that news out while people are already thinking about the new console. And I think last year everyone was just dumping all over Game Freak because of the Terror leak and just trying to get business. So part of it could also be like more transparency, like by sharing when news is coming out, the focus is now back on the games and the content than the company itself. And I can see this just being a trend from
That's
now
based. I like that.
all the way through Gen 10. And realistically, I think there's gonna be no Gen 10 in this at all.
Dude, I love this.
Because I think maybe some Scarlet and Violet end of life stuff, because I think you're definitely closing that book.
What would
I
that look
think-
like? What do you imagine that looks like? Because I have had similar, wishes.
You're gonna get I guarantee Walking Week and Iron Leaves comes back because people probably got the game again because of the Switch 2 update. Run that back one more time. Maybe it'll probably be, those Terra events. But
Do you think they'll ever
Shiny's
make
really
Walking
great.
Wake and Iron Leaves permanent, or do you think they will remain a rare encounter? Which I think is kind of cool.
I think it rare, just because they've already done it so many times, and if you do it one more time, I think they've given every possible opportunity for someone to get those.
Yeah.
So that's the third thing I think maybe not too many people have mentioned or started to forget about. Like there's definitely room for that. Champions,
Yeah, I like that.
you're probably going to get more information. I think that trailer is like kind of like the first ZA trailer, where it was just very, it's kind of like an animation rather than any kind of gameplay. So hopefully I would love to see there be more than battling. Like in my mind, I'm like, I just need to do more things with the Pokemon I have besides like look at them or go play in game. And even battling, I'm not a competitive person, but ultimately I would still like to do more things. So there could be like a realm of mini games that Champions has, and just like a lot of different other game modes that people can
Pokemon
compete
Stadium.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Vibes.
Exactly. So that's what I would like to see, but I bet we're going to get a deep dive, and then we're going to get more ZA information, and then they're going to drip feed ZA, because I was thinking maybe ports, but there's so much time between Pokemon Day and Gen 10 coming out where that's where you get everyone excited to celebrate Pokemon at the end of the year with Gen 10, rather than like, because they're going to do other things to celebrate. But I think it's going to be building up that nostalgia. More people need a Switch too. Like, there's just absolutely no way you can drop a Gen 10 so early. And at the same time, I feel like with their earnings, it would kind of feed into the end of next year, the beginning of the following. So their sales wouldn't actually, it would look better on their sales if you give more time for people to get a Switch too. So I think, just like very practically thinking, I think they're going to be going that route. And then I think the risks they take are not so much in like the hype, but more so in like new game mechanics. And even then, it's like they're very cautious about it. Like, they're very protective of their product. And so I think like their ambition will be more so in the games itself, rather than any kind of like extravagant presents or Pokemon Day.
No, this is super based. I feel like you're going.
I can only say I agree with all of this. It makes so much sense.
That would like sports and stuff. But.
Not to go back a little bit to what you like. One of the first things you said is you were saying like they're not like, the focus here is not like to sell the Switch 2, and like to even add to your point on that, like apparently what we've recently heard, like as of yesterday, I think Nate the Hate, really well-known leaker, is saying that there's actually a Nintendo Direct this month. So I think like that even adds more to your point that like the Nintendo Direct will focus on showing us what's coming for the Switch 2, and maybe they'll include ZA again in that.
Yeah.
But this is a Pokemon Presents, and the focus of a Pokemon Presents is not selling Switch 2, it's selling Pokemon.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's like, I think Gen 10 is incredibly impactful, and it's gonna be exciting. Like, when I played Scarlet and Violet on the Switch 2 that first time, it was jarring. It was insane. It was really insane, and that got me very excited for it. So I think you need to build up all that suspense. Ports is a great thing to drop in the meantime to get people back into playing. I think best case scenario for the ports is like you have them all live within one app, and then maybe through there while you're playing you can do achievements that aren't like Nintendo achievements but Pokemon achievements, and maybe those get you medals in Pokemon Home to kind of link back to that. Gives you a chance to also maybe transfer, but at the same time, like, for me, it's hard to go back and play some of those old games if I can't bring forward those Pokemon I'm spending the time to get or spend time with. So that's part of it. It's kind of like a big time suck, and you can still get those Pokemon again. I mean, I would love to replay Gold and Silver again. I'm an absolute like, that's it. It's the heart and soul of it all. But it's like, realistically, part of me doesn't think they're ever going to come out with ports either. I just think like they're maybe moving forward.
Come on, you gotta manifest it.
It's not impossible, but it's like we would want it to happen, but at the same time, maybe
Quill, remove him from the call.
Mute block report.
I've been hurt by this so many times. Every time it gets brought up, I get so excited. And then when it doesn't happen, it just brings me down a peg.
What's crazy is like I often will scream about things that I believe, like. And I don't know if I'm sick in the head, if it's a mental illness, but I feel like I have legitimate visions. I've always loved That So Raven. I'm just kidding. But like, I really feel like I have visions. I like, when I think of something, it becomes, I close my eyes, I go, I can see it. It's real. It's real. Like, it's as real as day. And then when it doesn't happen, it bums me out. It really does.
I think I am in a place of like, if they don't do ports for the 30th anniversary, I'm going to stop calling it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is our last shot, boys. We're in the end game now.
Yeah.
That's when they'll do it, though. Like, literally, after we think that it's going to happen,
it'll
that's
be
when
the
they end up doing it.
31st anniversary. They're going to drop ports.
But I will stop talking about it as well.
Yeah.
So,
hopefully, I mean,
No, we're almost at time. So if you have anything else, would love to hear it. I appreciate you calling. This has been a refreshing call-in so
This
far.
was like the pickled ginger with your sushi, a palate.
Oh, it's so
cleanser,
good.
you know?
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys. You guys are killing it. Happy to support.
Dude, we appreciate you, man.
Thank
we'll
you,
talk to
man.
you soon, all right? We want to talk to you on the next call-in show to see if just so we can confirm and follow up about what actually has happened on the Pokemon.
For real.
Yeah. Who's
Love
next?
it.
Yeah, so we are at about it's 12 o'clock right now where I'm at. So it's been, the recording says an hour and 50 minutes. I think we can go for maybe another, like, we always do this. There's a couple hands raised. We'll finish it up.
We've got 2 hands raised. So we'll NMT Arts is our last hand raised on there. We got Hex with us now, and then P1, and then NMT Arts, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So 3 more, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. But who do we got right now?
Hex.
What's going on?
Hey guys. Hey, I'm super new to the Patreon, like 2 weeks out, so I guess I joined at a really good time.
Welcome. Yeah. You didn't have to wait.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, so lucky. I kind of mirror what was just said. Funny enough, I do really think that this was announced early as a marketing tactic, because all we've talked about for 3 months is, oh, what are they going to say? What are they going to do?
Yeah.
It has been constant, and that might be the new way they do it, is tell us. And also because we normally get in August, and this is a little bit earlier, they might have been telling us because it's different than the schedule, which I think they're moving ZA out of Christmas because of this kind of squish schedule that wasn't supposed to happen. But I don't think we're going to get a single bit of Gen 10 at all.
Damn.
I think they're going to do light DLC like they did for Arceus in February. They're going to focus really hard on ZA, but 10 is a Christmas game. Whether we think about it or not, children are a main demographic for this game.
Oh, 100%.
Always have been, always will be.
Never forget it. That's us.
Sure.
Kids aren't getting $70 games in the middle of February, in March, in April. School's ending. They're going on vacation.
Yep.
I work retail. I work reptile retail, but I work retail.
Cool.
February.
Reptile retail? What is that?
Retail. We can't gloss over
reptile
that.
retail?
Manage a reptile store. I literally sell lizards and snakes and spiders.
Dude, that is so cool.
That is so cool.
To post some pictures.
Yeah, please do.
But yeah, that right after Christmas, February, March, April, is very dead. It's very light. People are saving for vacations. People just bought their kids all the presents. It doesn't really make sense. I think we'll probably I think ports is like a pretty good idea for 30th, but I think they'll like drop a DLC for ZA on Pokemon Day.
Yeah.
Like that'll be that. We'll get that. But my like favorite thing about Legends games and why I'm most excited for another one is this is the test. This is testing things to see how people like them. So I don't think we'd get any Gen 10 because they want to see how people like this new battle style. They want to see how people like the levels. They want to see what people like and don't like about what's coming out in ZA before they give us anything that's in 10. And what I'm really hoping for and what this gets us is that with champions kind of shifting VGC, we can start getting true immersive RPG Pokemon games. Give me those side quests. Give me a long game. They're taking longer times. I'm that story person.
Yeah.
I think that they're going to really focus on ZA because they want to test it before anything comes out for Gen 10.
Yeah. No, I love that so much. I guess I want to push back a little bit using your logic because I still think there's a possibility that they could at least like mention.
I think they could say we're working on it.
Yes,
I think they could say like, hey, we're working on something big, by the way.
But using your logic of like announcing the presents ahead of time, I do wonder, I don't know, but I wonder if announcing that Gen 10 is being worked on could maybe grab the attention of more normal people who might be enticed by like, oh, a new starter trio and oh, there's new Pokemon. It's like just it's a classic thing that is understood. I wonder if that could get the attention of my friends who would be like, oh, did you hear they're making a new generation? And then that kind of leads them to a pipeline of being like, oh, there's actually a new game on shelves right now. I'll get that for my Switch too. You know, Legends ZA.
I do think that, yeah. I think maybe, okay, if we get anything, maybe titles. I think they could give us the 2 titles
I think
and
that's
like a
too much.
splash
Be one
screen.
of
No,
those.
that's too much. That's too much. That's too much. Settle
But
down.
not like a date, not like anything that just says like 2026 Gen
Yeah,
10. Make
yeah.
colors instead of titles if they're going to stick with like colors.
Dude, I want to go
That
back.
could be fun. Like literally, if they just do a
Flash
little
screen.
teaser.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I follow a lot of bands who do like color lore and stuff. So if we did like something that was
Sure.
Oh, like color
just
theory?
yeah, it's a flat splash screen, like no
Yeah.
animation,
Hmm.
flash screen. Maybe there's like silhouettes in the background or something, like to make people talk, because that's their favorite thing in the entire world is to make us talk about it for 8.5 months.
We've been doing that. And
Yeah.
it's been great for Hidden Power. We've had so much
We can do
discussion with the announcement of the presents. We post about it every week and people are so excited.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, how much are we really gonna get? Versus are they like, hey, this is gonna be a really? They might have been like, oh, we're not getting it in August, but then they're like, oh wait, this actually worked really, really well. Everyone has talked about it for every 3 days for 3.5 months.
Yeah.
The internet is
Yeah.
Pokemon.
So much fun.
Yeah, no,
Sure.
and I mean the like the clickbait titles like on both
Mhm.
YouTube and articles write themselves. Like if they just acknowledge they're working on Gen 10, there's
Oh,
going to be
yeah.
all these articles that just the headline is Pokemon announces Gen 10 game and newest presents, and
Yeah.
that sells their games for
That's the
them.
thing. If there's a single screen with anything on it, even a color or a slight shadow, all anyone will talk about is zoom ins of that photo for the next 4 months.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Literally,
We
me
will
every single day.
do
like-
those deep dives.
Pokemon is the most fun when we
Yeah.
don't know about the game, so we can think about whatever is our ideal game. You know?
Exactly.
No, dude, it really is. Wasn't the Legends ZA information more fun up until the leaks, you know?
But it's to a
I
point.
think our videos were more fun.
It's to a point though, because once ZA comes out, that's gonna be more fun because I'll actually be playing the game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Different
But in
levels,
terms of
right? Different
in terms of the
levels,
hype
different experiences.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
awesome.
I agree. I do want to say that the we mentioned it before, but the time that they did announce the next generation, which was Gen 8, they hadn't even announced Sun and Moon or Ultra Sun and Moon yet. So it was just like it was like 2 years later.
That was Let's
crazy.
Go Pikachu and Eevee that they announced ahead of time. But with Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, they had revealed Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and of course there was like some, you know how it is, some negative feedback to Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. I almost call it Legends Pikachu and Eevee.
Bro.
Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee having
It is the
can you
first
imagine?
Legends.
Having like the new style of catching or whatever. And so they said, we are working on a traditional Pokemon game for the Nintendo
Right.
Switch. So it was post Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee that they announced Sword and Shield. Like tease Sword
It's
and
funny
Shield,
that you
really.
think of it that way. I always thought of it as the Ultra Sun and Moon one, but maybe they were talking about Let's Go
That was-
Pikachu and Eevee in that.
Yeah, I always took
You know what
that
I'm talking
because they
about?
said next year. Yeah, they had said next year we have a
they
Switch
said
game.
this
and
could-
that was...
I just watched it, Lumi. So I was
Really?
looking into I was looking into like this whole scenario where we get like
Sure.
them announcing it, which it works for both no matter what, because one was a year before, and was 2 years before. But the one for Ultra Sun and Moon, they were like, we're working on the next mainline title that will be for the Switch. We can't give it like a specific date. I'm paraphrasing, obviously. We're not giving a specific date. It could be years from now. Like something like it could be years from now. It wasn't even just like, it's not like next year. It could be anytime. I watched
see,
what's his face
I
Ishihara
always
say the whole
took it
thing.
from Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, but maybe they meant Sword and Shield because I know they did
You
another
could be right.
announcement during Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee that like said, "Hey, we've got a more traditional one coming."
That is like a
you could be
Nintendo
right.
Direct thing, right? Like they're like, hey, we're working on something. That's it. There's no info.
Mhm.
But like, by
Yeah.
the way, we're making it. All these companies love to do that. It's kind of their favorite.
Mhm. Yeah.
This was at E3
At
too,
most-
so
At most, that we could have
Mhm.
fun if it was something else, but I just don't see a ton of stuff happening there.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
I like it.
That's where I
Listen,
land.
yeah, we really appreciate you supporting. I'm really glad that you're part of the community. I mean, this is great. We've hit our woman caller quota for the day, so we're not allowing any more women to call in. Only guys for the
Oh
rest
my
of the
God.
show.
Tuesdays are my day off, so you can get me every time.
Awesome, great. Thank you so much for calling in.
Well, we love
Thank you.
having love it. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, call in on the next show, and we'll see how right you are. We got a couple more people. It looks like P1 Polyrath is coming back. Another try. Let's see.
Okay.
Let's see if we can hear him.
Did he get it fixed?
No,
We cannot hear you if you're talking.
No, dude.
This is the new
P1.
running gag. Just every episode, we just have P1 pop in.
P1. Yeah, we gotta try this out. Gotta try this out. Can't hear you, P1. Listen,
Can't hear you.
We can get this solved. Listen, I'll even give you.
You're not muted.
I can even jump on a call with you later and try to just get you get this sorted away. You can like share your screen and we can get it sorted. Yeah, let's move on to the next person. I'm sorry about that, P1 Polyrath. We know you're here. We've mentioned you a bunch. We'll get you on the next show. So sorry about that. All right, who's next?
NMT, you are on.
Awesome.
Hello.
What's going on?
Hey. Yes, we can hear you.
I got new headphones, so I wasn't sure.
No, it worked.
How you doing?
Nice.
Good. Thanks for
Right.
calling in. Thanks for all your support over the months, years.
I got you.
Years.
I'm currently crashing out trying to shiny hunt an orthworm. So
Nice.
Oh boy.
Well, how many encounters are you at?
That's rough.
I just popped my 4th sandwich, so
Oh boy.
it's not going well.
It'll
I
show
thought you
up.
meant actual sandwiches for a second. I was like,
Yeah,
wait,
yeah,
he's
you
eating
just
like his
eat it.
4th sandwich right now.
Stress eating.
So my strategy.
Yeah.
Well, no. So is it static encounters for Orthworm?
Yeah, it's static encounters. I did a steel type run through with when I did Scarlet and Violet,
Yeah.
and so I'm trying to shiny hunt the shiny versions of my team, and Orthworm is the only one I've had no success for the last 3 years. Every time I try to do
Dang.
it.
It's a nice shiny though.
It
Love
is nice. I got Soul yapping about it from a couple years ago right here.
I'll get you
That's a
one.
while
Soul.
back.
I got you.
But yeah,
have one.
what are your predictions for
You enjoy yours.
the Pokemon Presents?
Thank you.
I gotta be honest. I think that Hex and Jetchi are pretty based with what they're saying. I think keeping our expectations low is the best way to look at this. Like, I don't personally foresee ports as much as I would like that. I know
agree.
I've seen some rumor mill about like the Classics collection, but every time I hear the Classic collections rumors, it feels too good to be true.
It's definitely I
Yeah.
definitely think it stems from a desire from fans and it's been perpetuated. But I do think I don't have evidence. I don't have numbers, but I do have belief in human nature is that the louder we can scream about this, eventually, someone at Game Freak at Nintendo can hear it, and eventually it can be developed, and eventually it can actually be released. So if we've been screaming, and also, yeah, the Pokemon Company's never done a collection, but they have ported games before. So 5 years ago, people were screaming about Pokemon, like a Pokemon ports collection, and it somehow made it into the ears of some sort of decision maker. It could be being developed right now, and it could release on the 30th year anniversary. A lot of what ifs there, but I don't think it's impossible. Is my point.
No, it definitely could, and I would waste more money than I have to get the entire collection. But it just, for me, it's anytime when these rumors go on and on and on, it just feels like it becomes at some point, a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, eventually something is going to come out, and then we can attach our, see, I was right. I said this 12 years ago. And that's
Right.
that's my whole thing.
He's calling us out. He's calling us out.
No, if someone at Game Freak or the Pokemon Company would openly be like, yeah, no, we heard the outcry and we decided to go ahead and do this. Here's $60 and you can get Gen 1 for free, etc. Yeah, no, for sure. Especially if they give it home connectivity like they did with the DS, what do they call it? Virtual console or bank. I can see people get really excited about that.
Yeah,
we would
I
be
mean,
excited.
I think, it's a common theme throughout this this video has been like what we think. This presents what we think the could happen on the 30th anniversary. We've heard, maybe they're going to drop Gen 10. Then we've heard Gen 5. Then
There's
why
a
can't
lot
it
of
be ports then?
anticipation. Yeah.
Why can't it be ports then? Why can't they just on February 27th, 2026, just say, oh yeah, we're re-releasing Red, Blue, and Yellow.
Yeah.
It's available now. Go play it.
But I think because there is, like, I think maybe the reason why everyone's talking about the 30th anniversary, and we've even touched on this earlier about like wanting the year to be a celebration, I think some of that is bleeding into this into right now, because there is anticipation for the 30th year anniversary, right? There's like 5 months to go before the 30th year anniversary of Pokemon. And once the year actually starts, there's still going to be an anticipation for whatever game comes out at the end of the year. So that's like that's a year and a half of anticipation, of celebration. Just because it's not currently 2026 doesn't mean we can't anticipate and be excited for it. And I think it's not impossible that some of that hype can start now, right?
No.
Right.
Yeah.
And no,
I'm not predicting
agree.
something that's going to happen. What I'm saying is, like, in the zeitgeist, real people are feeling that, so it's real, right? Even though it's not technically 2026 yet, it's real. People are excited in anticipation of we are celebrating the 30th year anniversary.
I certainly think that we'll get something that's specifically commemorative of the 30th anniversary. Part of me hopes it's not another Kanto remake, even though I would still buy it and play it. But I do think ports of some sort would be the easiest way to do that, because I just don't personally foresee them putting mainline Pokemon RPGs on the NSO Family Pass. I feel like they would be individual releases.
I think my vision
well.
for this was like a new idea maybe it's not a new idea, but what I'm imagining is just a Pokemon app. It's a Pokemon RPG Nintendo Switch online app. So you have GameCube as a separate app, N64 as a separate app, Game Boy as a separate app, and then you have Pokemon as a separate app. And that's where they will update games over the next year and a half or beyond.
I'd get behind
That's
that.
wild.
Actually,
Yeah, that'd be fun.
No, I think that makes a lot of sense. Because it makes sense is why I hesitate. But
Valid. That is valid.
well, I just find as I get older, and I'm a diehard Pokemon fan. My family knows it, my students know it, but it's harder to become excited at the prospects of possibility as I get older, because Game Freak rarely does what in my mind makes the most sense. Like, why wouldn't you? You would make a killing on like let's to bounce off of Dusty's idea. We're in this like it or not era of everything's a subscription service. Okay, I already pay Pokemon pretty directly to use Pokemon Home. I probably would pay a yearly subscription fee to have access to legacy Pokemon.
I would. It's not perfect. It's not ownership, but at least I have access to the games, and it is more convenient. And that's the biggest thing. It's more convenient than piracy because it's literally just on your system,
Well, I think
unfortunately.
The ultimate... Go ahead.
No, go for it.
I think the ultimate way for Nintendo to combat privacy, and I see this a lot online, and I tend to side with people that say this, is that they go after these people with copyright strikes, and we joke about the Nintendo ninjas and all of that. But it's like, joke. Okay, so
it's not a joke.
It's not a joke.
you go after these people, and I'm not saying that's not their right. I know it's harsh, but do you want to combat piracy? Then give us a reason to not pirate.
Yeah, and the old saying is, if paying a subscription to get access to something is not ownership, then is it really stealing when you get it through another means? You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
legally, that's not any sort of endorsement of piracy.
No, I mean, legally speaking,
that is
yes,
a philosophy.
It's bill theft. But philosophically speaking, I agree. Like, if purchase doesn't mean ownership, then piracy doesn't mean theft. But I don't know. As far as my actual predictions, I mean, I think ZA. I think this is probably a time for us to be perfectly positioned to finally prove that they have some new megas in the pipeline. I don't think anything Gen 10. And if we do get anything Gen 10, I think it would be a very brief verbal confirmation that we are working on the next Pokemon game exclusive for the Switch 2.
Agreed.
If that, like, if that would be like, to me, the best case scenario is just like tagged on at the end after the ZA and Champions updates, which I do think we'll get some Champion update. Would be like, hey, we're doing the thing. Because like you guys were talking about, that they, after, I also have a memory similar to Lumi where they announced Let's Go, and then they're like, we are actually working on a new entry in the Pokemon series for a Switch. Because I'm trying to keep my expectations lower, so if something awesome happens, I can be excited. Because I had that same attitude over a year ago when I was on the hype train, you know, with Ruffled Rowlet and Soul Silver here about Gen 5 remakes are coming, Gen 5 remakes are coming. And I've actually never played Gen 5. Everyone talks about their Pokemon hiatus. But Gen 5, the last part of Gen 4, like I've never played Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and I've never played Black and White or Black and White.
What?
And
you kidding?
Now.
It's time to take to the high seas, my friend. Yo ho, man. You gotta get that.
And so like I was on the hype train, and then they dropped the ZA announcement, and I about lost my bloody mind.
I kind of did the same thing. I replayed Black and White, and I was like in Black 2 and White 2, and I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, let me play the originals so like I can be ready for the launch. And it was a total subversion. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that, and to this day, my favorite reaction video of the ZA announcement goes to Hoops and Hip Hop.
Dude, I gotta go watch that. Shout out to Hoops.
If you go watch it, watch like the veins in his neck and his forehead.
Okay.
Like
I'll send this video to him. I'll text him.
I'm like legitimately concerned for his health while he's like.
No, he's fine. He was just excited. He was excited. That's funny.
That's how excited I want to be when they finally, if they're gonna drop something unexpected on us, because like how awesome would it be if we did get a Gen 5 announcement?
Yeah.
You know, with this, do I think we will? No.
Yeah.
But I want that type of excitement, and I also think that's part of the reason, amongst the logistical issues of why they circumvented Gen 5 altogether.
Yeah.
Was because, well, no one's going to see this coming. And we can argue up and down why they decided on CA, whether it's PAL World or the hype for Legends or everything. But in the end, like Hex said, there's a certain amount of publicity that they don't have to do if they line up these timings in ways we're not expecting.
Yeah,
like the amount of hype.
Yeah.
Like we were able to thrive off not even a drip feed of news for over
100%. Pokemon is too big, and it's not just the games. You know, absolutely. Like a Nemo is not competition; it's just a different game. You know,
right?
They're playing the long game. Listen, man, I really appreciate you calling in. You've had some really awesome ideas here today. We're gonna have to wrap up the show, but yeah.
One additional thought. This is a shout out to Toby.
Nice.
As I hear and watch videos about the rumors of what Gen 10 is supposed to be, can we talk about how much Toby was like right on the money with his Olympia series?
What is his Olympia series?
Yeah, so he has his Pokemon Tempest. So
sure.
Shiny Orthworm. Sorry.
Did you really get it?
Did you right now?
Nice.
Yes.
Let's go.
That's crazy.
Name him Lumi.
This is doing it live.
Name it Dusty.
Right here.
Dude, that's awesome.
I love that.
What a great way to end this. Yeah.
I got it.
No, that's awesome, man. Listen, call back later. We can talk. We can talk about Toby later. I'm not even familiar with the region like that, so we can talk about that later.
Post a picture in the chat for us.
Yeah, post a picture in the chat.
Just because.
I think so. I guess what I'm getting is that I think there's a lot of anticipation for, and this is what I was trying to say earlier. after this episode, what I'm kind of getting is that there's a lot of anticipation for next year. There's a lot of anticipation for
isn't that crazy?
Generation 10.
It is.
You know, that's like where our minds are at. I think this was,
and that's why they can't reveal it here. You know, that's why they can't. There'll be no hype for ZA and Champions.
It's also why they should not reveal games 2 years in advance. Like they just shouldn't do that, because Pokemon fans' minds are just programmed to be like, "What's the next thing? What's the next thing?" Like it's crazy.
I'm excited to live stream the Pokemon Presents on July 22nd. We will be right here on this podcast channel. Or if you're listening on YouTube, we'll be on YouTube. Actually, YouTube and Twitch. We'll be dual streaming the Pokemon Presents, the lead up. And we'll also, whatever, if we actually get some good trailers, we'll be doing full breakdowns of that. And then throughout the week, we'll also be doing a bunch of live streams with some of your favorite creators. We've invited some more people, some classics back on the podcast. So we're going to be doing some, we'll be doing some additional Hidden Power roundtables in order to really break everything down with some of your favorite creators. That's going to be awesome. So if you're not subscribed already, subscribe so you can, actually tune in for that. That's going to be super fun. And this is not even a promise, but I think it'd be fun to almost do like a pre-game show. Maybe we can do like an HP Live leading up to, or the day before the Presents or something. That'd be kind of fun. Because I'm sure there'll be some leaks that we can kind of get like a little crazy about, like the day before the Presents. But anyways, we appreciate all of you guys who have been here, who called in. If you want to be on the next call-in show, if you want to talk to us, if you think you got like some burning opinions, some burning predictions, and you want to get it out, you can be part of the Hidden Power universe. You can join on Patreon or on YouTube. The links are in the description. You can connect your stuff, get into the secret Discord, get access to this channel, and literally be on the next call that we're going to be doing in like a week or so. But yeah, I think that's it. Appreciate you guys so much. As always, thank you, and support us so we don't go homeless. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. I'm going to stop.
Thanks so much, guys. It was fun.